Hey guys, I bet you're all wondering what actually was launched to the North America server versus the Asia server for the 260 patch, since everybody kind of, I guess, in a way, prepared from the perspective of having the C server as well as their changes and different things. So let's just go over quickly what those are. The first one is actually the UR system. So the UR system actually changed drastically from the C server versus the NA server. The biggest change is the fact that it is less more of a gamble rather than a definite or a guaranteed upgrade. So here are the parts. The Asia server has recipes that will that you can basically craft, and it only requires 10 fragments to create um, an unconfirmed recipe. So an unconfirmed recipe can open up to multiple items. It can open up to a weapon, an armor, and it can also vary from normal to rare or red pieces. It is a gamble, which is what allows them to create the exchange system as well. Now, the exchange system creates a guaranteed selection box, as well as gambling from a normal piece to a different type of piece until you get the one that you need. However, the US server, now the US server is actually a set crafting recipe. It will guarantee exactly what you need and create the ones that you are looking for. Now, they're not as easy as it sounds because it does cost a lot for one particular crafting. So for a PvP weapon, rare, which everyone is probably going to focus on at first, it's going to cost 30 ripped fragments and 5,000 scraps to produce. So that's only for one recipe. Now, to actually upgrade your UR, it will require 15 page recipes, which will then equivalent to 450 ripped fragments alone and 80,000 scraps. And I'm not sure if that's actually in my head calculating the additional 5,000 required once you have all the materials that you need to upgrade it. So even though it is not a gamble, it will still cost quite a ton to create. And to even get the ripped fragments, it will require a lot of salvaging SR materials. An SR normal weapon alone will give 3 frags, and a rare material will give 7 ripped fragments. So this particular part of the UR process is one of the biggest change that everyone did not expect when when it was released. So hopefully everyone was able to manage to save a lot of the SR weapons to salvage and kind of make a dent of upgrading their weapons. The next difference that I've noticed is also the enhancement scrolls. Now, on the Asia server, it actually only costs 15 to create one blessed scrolls, while on the US server, it still costs 30 scrolls. I actually saved quite a ton of scrolls, normal scrolls, to hopefully prepare for the patch and see if it changes, but it didn't. So I guess for the US server, it's going to continue costing double the amount of creating the blast scrolls. Now the next one is going to be the summoning stones. This particular one, it's not much of a burden to get, because you can farm them easily from the field mobs, and constantly create groups where you can do rotations. Plus the core buffs from the clan helps mitigate all the requirement of completing your codex. However, there is a difference. On the US server, the US server actually cost 10 fragments to create one stone. It can vary. It's basically from all the normal stones, it will cost 10, and the boss summoning stones will always cost 20. However, on the Asia server, actually costs double the amount. The boss summoning stones cost 50 fragments, while the regular stones cost 20 fragments. So in a sense, this kind of balances out, but not really, because of the fact that scrolls are more important than the summoning stones, or at least costly than summoning stones. The next one that I wanted to go over are basically the mounts, because even though the US server was released later on, they did get a little bit of advantage in a sense. On the US server, the Excellency mount is, you can basically add equipments to make it add CP to your character, and as well as the mount being SR grade when you first acquire it. However, on the Asia server, we were able to obtain it. It did cost, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think $30 at the time. I actually can't remember. However, it was only S level grade and unable to equip any mount equipment. So we didn't really gain anything from it. And the only bonus on the Asia server, because it was launched 6 months prior, we were able to acquire multiple mounts, and as well as them releasing new mounts. We do the two latest mounts that were released is the Fenrir mount, and yesterday they actually released one of the new mounts, which is called Baron, and this really creeps me out. So like I said to the people who actually obtained this mount, on the side it looks really cute, but not the mast. And it is actually a lot bigger mounted than an elephant. I don't have it, so I can't show you guys what it looks like. However, once I do get it, I will let you know. The next difference that I did notice is the elite dungeons. Now, everybody was expecting 4, since that is what was really originally released on the Asia server. However, it is actually only 3, and let me just point out which one exactly. So on the US server, it did release the lab, which is the one with all the bosses that has a chance to drop multiple items such as attribute stones, canopy, and understory. However, the other one is missing, which is what is available on the Asia server, and that is the slaughter site. Now, the slaughter site is also another PvP version like laboratory, except it will only have 4 bosses. So I'm not exactly sure what they're planning to do with this elite dungeon, or if they're planning on releasing it at all. The other difference between the elite dungeon on the US and the Asia is that On the Asia server, you're able to acquire varnish for your soul crystal versus just the POB that everyone is only getting now. You're also not able to obtain any of the extra summoning stones that I was hoping that everyone was always gonna get too. I don't know if that's gonna be something on a future update, if it's going to change at all, but right now it looks like Asia server has the benefits for this one. The next topic is the clan buffs. I'm not sure if anyone ever actually noticed or tried, but on the Asia server, you are able to obtain clan buffs and stack them multiple times. You can basically buy up to unlimited hours, if I'm not mistaken. They do last up to an hour per purchase. However, you can stack them up. Like for this one, I do have attack at 2 hours, and when I do AFK at night and leave my character on farming on the elite dungeon, I usually have a little bit of a buff to make it easier. Even if it were at war or anything like that, it does help with that extra buff. And I noticed that on the US server, you're able to purchase 1 hour of buff with, and if you do try to buy it again, what it does is it just resets the time and it goes back to another hour. So I'm not sure if what the original plan is with this or why there is that much of a big difference. I guess it's because it was too powerful and it made farming a lot faster and easier for anybody especially on the C server. So hopefully, maybe they'll add a little bit of an extra boost, a limitation, or anything like that. Well, but this is definitely something that I was looking forward for at least a change, because it does help me a lot, especially as playing a healer on the US server. Auto clear option is the other change that everybody was probably looking forward to if you knew the difference between the Asia server before the 260 patch. The auto clear for the daily dungeon, the Adena dungeon, as well as the EXP dungeon only costs 1 ticket, and for the US server, Hell version cost 5, and I believe this one costs about 4 to clear. So it is a big difference, and I'm not sure why. It's almost like they're using the C server as a trial to kind of reduce or use it as a test to see how players would react to changes that they're initially providing to the community, and then if it doesn't work out, then they adjust it, and the US server kind of falls with the difficulty of more of a slower version of the game rather than something that is a lot faster. The last topic I wanted to touch on is the Soul Crystal. The system is still the same. Nothing changed, especially on the US server. Because they actually kept the very slow farming of Bs and Cs, combining them and upgrading them until you get enough S, and it just feels like more of a difficult process rather than the Asia server, which looks like this. The Asia server, you can just select the item that you want and select level up and select all the A's that you need, or I've actually been salvaging or using A's and S to upgrade my soul crystals that are currently all R, including my red set. Um, I've kept most of them, and because we've acquired so much uh, varnish just from doing our elite dungeon quests daily, we can basically update this to an SR much easier and faster than we would on the US server. The US server is actually a little bit more complex, even though it does have the upgrade option. Um, and now it's an SR. Let me just pull up the US version. So for the US version, we would actually need to select the item, then upgrade and combine all the A's first, but obviously it's not an easier farm for us on the US server to combine soul crystals and upgrade them easily. And I think this is one of the um, most frustrating things to upgrade, and hopefully something that they can change, because it is holding back a lot of the players on the US server from gaining additional CP that right now everyone should already be at R at least, and maybe even close to full SR, even as a free to play player. And that's basically what I had on the list. Obviously, there are the mastery difference on the shop, and the friendship points, with C server having the radiant stones recipe for crafting to make it easier to obtain those without just a daily dungeon. Um, and the bundles too being different, and I'm not going to go over that because it is quite long as it is. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas or anything of what you guys want me to go over, I'll be more than happy to. And thank you for watching.